Okay, hi Pisces, my name is Chris and this is your Celtic Cross for December 2025. 2025 is coming to an end, thank God for that. And it's not just 2025 that is coming to an end. By the way, that's the Two of Wands here in the center of your Celtic Cross. You got the world in your hand, you're looking over the landscape basically. You have your plans, you have your vision of where you want to go, what you want to do. And that's a good situation. That's a good starting point, right? 2025 might have been pretty heavy. I've been doing these readings for quite a while. Even before I started or restarted my channel, right? So the last 7 years have been pretty intense, and crossing energy, by the way, is the Queen of Pentacles. So wealth, abundance and prosperity, right? The universe is on your side. You got your plans. There's prosperity. There are opportunities coming in. Fertility. That's also what the Queen of Pentacles is all about. So let's just see what comes up for the foundation. That's the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Cups here. So you got something new, something unexpected, something out of the ordinary, and you're making it work. You're incorporating some new ideas, some new vision of yourself, and you plant your seeds, so to speak, and they fall on fertile ground. With the Queen of Pentacles, come on. So there is the World card, closure of an old chapter, mastership of an old chapter, but you're already in the new one, right? You're already looking forward to 2026, and why not? Seems pretty good what you're looking forward, because this is the frequency you're tuning your consciousness in, focusing on what you want to create. Don't fight the old. Very well done, right? There is the King of Cups in the recent past, so you already got mastership over your emotions. Nobody can trigger you. King of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. And what comes along is a happy home, joy. There is a blessing after difficulty, right? Which is beautiful when it comes together with the World card. So the closure of the old circle. There is a gift from the universe, kind of unexpected, you know, kind of a new pathway, kind of a new side of yourself that you might have discovered in the last few years, right? And now you can create a vision, how to implement that new vision, that new aspect of yourself into your new beginning where you want to go in 2026. And I feel like December might be all about planning, and all about counting your blessings and see how you can really plant your seeds, wrap up the old. The old is wrapping itself up, basically. I think you're already done with the last 7 years. Whatever happened in the last 7 years, for me, it's a 7-year circle. For all of us, it is a 7-year circle. It has been winter, if you haven't noticed, right? This is this Game of Thrones concept where winters don't just last for a few months, but they last for a few years. And the last 7 years was winter, and winter is coming to an end. 10 of Cups, beautiful energy. Queen of Cups, you got the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, so the royal couple, and the Page of Cups, beautiful. So yeah, the outside position is, I would say, in December, you shouldn't worry too much about what other people think, what other people have in mind for their projects or whatever. You got something going for yourself. You're making plans, you're realizing your plans, and you're planting your seeds, so to speak. And everything is there, right? There's an inspiration coming in from the universe. You got a great idea. You got a great plan. You got everything you need in order for you to realize that plan. And you're really focusing on your blessings, count your blessings. And there's something that you're wrapping up, right? The old circle, the old developmental circle, last few years. I would say the last 7 years, certainly 2025. 2026 is going to be much better, and you're focusing on that. you're already the King of Cups, right? Coming in as the King of Cups. Concentrating here on the inside, right? Queen of Cups energy in your position. So you don't even, right? What is this, right? The Nine of Swords in the outside position, how you engage with the world, how the world engages with you. I would say stay at home, right? Focus on your own stuff, right? Your own projects. There's the Ten of Cups. There's happiness, there's joy, there's inner peace. King and Queen of Cups talk a lot about inner peace and emotional stability. You don't need any drama, right? Whoever is inviting you to have some drama in the outside world, no, thank you, right? There's justice coming in, which is beautiful. That means you did something right in the last circle. Again, last 7 years, you might not have sold your soul to the devil or something like that, right? You did not opt for the lesser evil and kind of forgot that the lesser evil is evil too. It seems like you didn't do that. A lot of people did, by the way. Five of Wands, life goes on, right? But you handling this bottom of the deck is for December definitively the Hermit, right? So you just concentrating on your inner strengths, concentrate on your inner peace, and you get everything you need, right? And whatever the universe invites you to participate in, if it's jeopardizing your inner peace, if it is full of drama, right? If you're going to a place and you feel drained afterwards, that's a red flag, right? So why would you participate in a scenery where you do not have to participate and you feel drained afterwards, right? Because these Nine of Swords in the outside position, they are avoidable, right? Just by saying no, no, thank you, focusing on your inner peace, focusing on your abundance, focusing on your plans. Whatever is coming, right? You got this, right? Whatever is coming, you got this. Five of Wands, that's a training, that's learning something new, but it's not a fight. It's not a dirty fight. It's not the Five of Swords. You got this, right? Just don't go there, right? There seems to be an invitation from other people, and it's the season, right? I mean, it's December. Come on, let's just say it. Christmas. Are you going home for Christmas? That's okay. But are you going home for Christmas to have a big fat family drama? That's optional, right? And do you want that? Question mark. That's your choice, right? I'm just saying you got the Ten of Cups here. You got a happy ending of this circle, of this 7-year circle, of this year 2025. And you are in this frequency of, I take care of my stuff. I further my plans. I visualize what I want to create in 2026 or even in December already. And there's a happy home. There's a blessing after difficulty. So there's justice here, justice again, clarifying the Two of Wands. So you getting your justice, right? You're getting what you want, you're manifesting what you want, but you have to realize that your focus determines your reality. And justice in the sense that wherever you focus your energy on, right? This is pretty much what you get. This is pretty much what you're nurturing, what you're manifesting, what you're magnifying in your life, right? And there seems to be, but I'm waiting for this clarifier, but there's absolutely no need for the Nine of Swords, which is overthinking energy and worrying too much and even catastrophizing and oh my God, the world is so, and no, it's so awful. And you know, no. Your destiny, there's the Wheel of Fortune. is clarifying the Queen of Pentacles. So you got everything you need here. You got something wonderful going. Just keep doing what you're doing. Do not allow anybody to talk you out of this. Do not allow anybody to lower your frequency. You got beautiful thing going on here. The Magician, clarifying the World card. You're closing this, right? Whatever chapter this is all about. I couldn't make this up, right? There's the King of Cups clarified by the Queen of Cups, and you got the Queen of Cups here in your position again. Emotional maturity, very much sure of yourself. What you want is inner peace, joy, happiness. You got the Ten of Cups here. You got plans. That's what you want, right? Three of Wands clarifying the Ten of Cups. And the clarifier for the Queen of Cups is the Eight of Swords, right? You are mastering your own swords, right? Nobody can trick you into guilt, fear, shame. Maybe you have been struggling with this in the last 7 years, and maybe you learned during the last cycle, during the last winter cycle, Game of Thrones like, so to speak, which is really the last 7 years. Certainly 2025 might not have been exactly a walk in the park either. But you learned something, and you learned emotional mastership, right? And that basically means that whoever tries to lure you into some cock and bull story about guilt, fear, shame, lower frequency energy, try to sell you on hatred, on resentment, on pain, on stuff like that, you just say no, right? And there is the Eight of Pentacles here clarifying the Nine of Swords in the outside position. So you got something to do. There's work to do. You got work to do in terms of your own plans, in terms of your own projects. Focus on that. Justice is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles, right? So December seems to be all about, right. Seems to be, yeah. So there's your Five of Wands clarified by the Nine of Swords again. So this is pretty much telling me that someone in the outside world or from the outside comes in and is trying to trigger you, right? Narcissistic, toxic energy, trying to play you on your insecurities, guilt, fear, shame, resentment, pain. Who do you think you are? Blah, 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 right? Are you sure you can do that? Who do you think you are? Things like that, right? And it's the season, right? The question is, do you want to participate in that BS, right? And the question really is, can you just stay home and do your own thing on Christmas, or do you have to go there? And if you have to go there, or if you even want to go there, because maybe they are not just toxic people in your family, that's a blessing, by the way. So you have to deal with toxic people wherever you go, right? Whether it's the family when you go home for Christmas, whether it's your job situation, your career. The world is full of toxic people, and whenever you engage with the world, you're going to meet them, right? So you can't really avoid them. They're just there, and you're going to meet them. Question is, how do you deal with them? King of Cups, Queen of Cups, 2 times the Queen of Cups, right? Laser focused on what you want to create, right? You're awake, you're laser focused on what you want to create. You're master of your emotions, right? Nobody can play you through guilt, fear, shame, right? Nobody can lower your frequency, and they will try, right? But the question, you really got a choice here. Do you see it as a training, or do you take it super serious and make it a Five of Swords energy? If you make it into Swords energy, if you take it too serious, if you're basically taking the bait, right? And you're already taking the bait if you allow other people to lower your frequency, to make you not enjoy the moment, right? And there's always the possibility to speak your truth, enforce boundaries. And by the way, enforcing boundaries doesn't mean that you inform other people about your boundaries. No, I'm talking consequences here, right? You have to actually, if someone makes you feel uncomfortable, you have to call them out and tell them, you are making me uncomfortable because this and that. Or I want you to stop questioning my ability to do whatever I'm planning here, right? I don't need that. If you do not have anything to contribute that is helpful or constructive, then why are you contributing it? Things like that, right? So then you're just responding to it, right? There's some trigger stuff going on here. Respond to it if indeed you want to respond to it, right? If you think it's worthy enough, you can always say no. You can always say, oh, I'm leaving early, something like that. You know, you don't need to make a thing out of it. You don't need to explain yourself, right? But if you feel like this is the situation and you're kind of forced to participate, then you have every right to state your truth, clear, non-confrontational, right? King and 2 times the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is not just sitting there thinking, oh, what the F is this person telling me, right? This is already, if you don't express it, you're already allowing it inside, and it already has an effect, you know, anger or, you know, fear, guilt, shame, whatever an outside source is triggering within you, right? That's an emotional response, right? Or I would say an emotional reaction. And then you just observe that and realize, oh, my frequency is dropping. So do something against that. You can either leave the situation or you can call someone out. You can just enforce your boundaries and say, look, this is making me uncomfortable. And then you have to state or explain why it makes you uncomfortable. But do not engage in a fight, right? Clear and unconfrontational. You're just stating your truth. Or you just leave the situation or don't even go there in the first place. That's also an option. Bottom of the deck, the Page of Cups again. Bottom of the big deck is the Hermit. Underneath the Hermit, there's the Star card, right? So maybe December is the month where you just concentrate on your stuff, right? And do not allow anybody to trigger you or to play you on your insecurities. Deep healing, multidimensional healing. That's the Blue Angel Oracle deck. Love and prayer, multidimensional healing. Are you willing to let go of the fear and worry that serve no useful purpose in your life? If so, healing is available to you right now. Throughout the grace of love, the past, present, and future can be healed. Invite healing into your life through prayer. Talk to the angels and ask for their help. There's a sacred flame within you that can be activated by your command. Activate it now. The angels will help you if you believe and trust. At this very moment, you are being filled with healing light. Accept and do not doubt it. If tears flow, let them, for this too is part of healing. That which is most precious is inside you. Multidimensional healing. Blue Angel Oracle deck is always a little, you know, bloomy language and da-da-da-da. Yeah. But very practically, you got everything you need to have a fantastic December, and you have everything you need to wrap that up in terms of that 7-year circle, wrap it up in terms of 2025. focus on your vision, what you want to create, and there is divine humble pride in it. Everything is pretty much supported. Your plans are supported. There is a steadiness to it, so you got something already figured out, and the universe is presenting you something new. So you might have a job that pays the bills, or a career that pays the bills, or something very practical that you do on a daily basis. Keep doing that, but there's something new that you either already have created or that you're about to create that is kind of compared to what you have been doing all along. Something new, something exciting, something out of the ordinary compared to that steadiness here, right, that you're already doing. If you can make these two aspects, incorporate them into whatever you're planning for 2026, whatever you're planning to do in the future, basically a playfulness and a seriousness or a reliability combined with joy, happiness, right? Something that means something to you, right? This is pretty much steady, slow and steady progress here with the Knight of Pentacles. But whatever practical thing that you're doing, there must be joy in it. And I think you're planning to implement joy and happiness into what it is that you're doing because you're going for happiness, right? You have nothing to prove to anybody. You're just going for contentment and for happiness. And this is what you're manifesting. This is what you're focusing on. Two of Wands to the Three of Wands. That's the 10 of Cups. Joy, happiness, a blessing after difficulty. And there's something that you're making. You're following your own light. You're creating your own light. You're setting your own little spark into the universe. And you say, this is what I want. And this is how I do it, right? And whoever comes along and tells you, oh, blah, 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 I think you should do that and you should do that. And have you thought about that? Who do you think you are? Shrug your shoulder, be the King of Cups, be the Queen of Cups, right? Be very sure about yourself. Just accept the fact that there are toxic people. Some of them are really toxic because they have an intention to be destructive, right? Some of them are just ignorant because they don't see a different way to deal with their own insecurities other than by projecting it onto other people. They are kind of not really knowing what they're doing, so kind of can't forgive them. But there are just toxic assholes in this world who want to destroy, who want to damage people, who want to take your energy away, who want to plant seeds of doubt and insecurity into your mind. And you're definitely going to meet them in December. The question is how you handle them, right? How you handle doubt, even if it comes from within yourself, right? Because someone can only trigger us from the outside. If the trigger only works if there's something that can be in resonance with that inside of us, right? If there's an insecurity, if there's something that we deep down kind of haven't really figured out and it's kind of still nagging deep inside, right? We all have that, right? We all have these impurities or insecurities within us. The question is, how do we deal with them? And King and Queen of Cups is definitely emotional mastership. So you know yourself well enough to just accept the fact that there are always insecurities and doubts within us, right? The question is, what are you focusing on? What do you give energy to? Do you feed these doubts? Do you allow other people to magnify these doubts, right? And do you buy into their BS stories, right? Usually they tell you some sort of narrative that is disempowering. That's what all the narcissists do, because if they disempower you, they feel more powerful. They want to suppress other people in order for them to feel a false sense of elevation, right? But you're not elevating yourself by pushing other people down. This is actually very honorless and horrible, actually, right? Very pitiful and dirty. But there are a lot of people out there, toxic people, who cannot lift themselves up, who cannot build themselves up, who are not willing to put in the work and the vision and the practicality and the discipline to build yourself up. So they have to push others down. You're totally focused on building yourself up, right? So why give these naysayers any energy? Even if this energy comes, there is something within yourself, right? Within all of us, right? There's doubt and insecurity. Do not focus on that, right? Focus on what you want to create. Do not fight the old either, right? You can't, you can't call out all the narcissists. I would advise against it. Do not call out narcissists. I'm kind of calling them out here in my readings, but do it on a functional way, explain how it works, how their schemes are working, but do not call them out personally, because that would just create drama. And that's really just what the narcissist wants, right? The narcissist wants drama, wants your energy. It's an energy vampire. It's a creature who lives through you giving them energy by engagement, right? If they can lure you into some drama, into some guilt, fear, shame story, that's where they shine, because then they can lower your frequency and give them this false sense of elevation. Very pitiful, very low in frequency, but you know, for the last 7 years, these creatures had their ball. Now it's coming to an end. This circle is ending. And you're doing exactly the right thing. Focus on what you want to create. And, right, if you encounter these people, become aware of that. Oh, wait, I actually feel depleted after this, right? Should I feel depleted? Why would I participate in something that lowers my frequency, right? You have to be that mindful, right? Keep your inner circle sacred and safe. That's the quote here. Keep your inner circle sacred and safe. That's very important here. The neocortex is a garden, and you're doing the right thing because you're focusing on what you want to create, not what you want to fight or something like that. Should I say this? There are 2 quotes, okay? You can pick one of these, right? Don't be afraid to stand alone. Learn to love yourself, to be yourself a friend. That makes a lot of sense. And no, that's a better one. Train yourself to let stupid people win arguments. You know, you can always just shrug your shoulders and say, yeah, sure. And, you know, don't even, if you can't avoid them, it's the season, right? Where we can't avoid assholes. Train yourself to let stupid people win arguments. And that's all I got. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. I'm sorry. Or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or whatever it is that you celebrate, right? I'm sure there's some asshole in your family as well. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. Nightingale spirit. Love is all around, number 41. And isn't that beautiful? Love is all around. In the darkness of the night, nightingale spirit sings her song of love and hope, a harbinger of dawn to remind you that the sun will rise again soon. You are so loved. And the illumination song of the nightingale spirit calls you to new levels of self-awareness and connection with the light. Yes, there's shadow and darkness, but love and prosperity exists everywhere, even in the seemingly emptiness of space, darkness, and a starless night. Hearken to the message, letting the music of the Nightingale song remind you that love is all around. Feel it and trust it in tomorrow's light, renewing your ability to recognize that the spaces that appear empty are filled with love and abundance. Illumination will happen soon. And that's very, very true. Very, very, very true. 2026, my friend, right? 2026 is going to be fantastic. You should check out the 2026 reading. This is the first time when the energies of the new paradigm are stronger than the energies of the old paradigm. And up until 2025, right, the old frequencies have been higher or more powerful than the new one. The old frequencies were higher than the new one, but in 2026, and I mean like 2026, the day it starts, right? The frequencies of the new will be more powerful. And it seems like someone is trying to, oh, don't you want to come down here, right? I want to have some drama. Don't you want to join me? No, you don't. And that's all I got for December, right? Check out your 2026 reading. It's going to be fantastic. You're doing the right thing. Now with Diane, that's all I got. Now I'm shutting up. Leave a comment if it resonates with you. Share, like, subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. See you for the 2026 reading or the January reading, hopefully. Now with Diane. Ciao.